What's going on, y'all? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you're new, we do always start the show by being transparent. And yesterday, I had one play, and it was a loser. It was the Cavaliers plus 2.5. Never was even close. So, man, the past maybe I don't know. It's been a little bit of slump since the weekend for sure. Got to get back on track here today, Vino. Hopefully, you did better than me yesterday.
I was equal to you yesterday. I had one play. It was the Clippers game over. Did not get there 218. But I did go up and down the board, Ski, just to review it. Um, Boy, a lot of the stuff we talked about, I wish I had played. Um, Orlando Phoenix wound up getting over the total. Charlotte was really easy. Detroit down to 3.5 wound up being
Yep.
easy against Toronto.
I was thinking the same
Cleveland
thing.
Lakers over. It makes me shake my head sometimes when you have that much of a good hold on a board and you pick the one that doesn't go right. That's what happened yesterday, but at least I know we handicapped it pretty well. Just a poor decision on my part which one to play. We'll see if we can be better today.
Yeah, that's been the story for me the past couple days. Yesterday and today, I feel like was just like that. I'm like, damn, why didn't I just take all this other stuff?
Hey,
Yeah,
hopefully we're helping the chat. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of it. Certainly we know what we're talking about. We just don't know how to apply it right now. We're in one of those ruts. Let's see if we get it right today.
yeah. Let's see. We'll start with Philly and Washington. Opened up 15, down to 14 and a half. I see a 13 and a half out there too. Total right around the opener. Um, Philly and Embiid is out. Broom is out. Washington, we have Eshawn George, AD, D'Lo, Sar, and Trey Young all out. Yeah, this is it's a lot. It's some dirty games on this slate, you know. But man, this is how we got to start, huh? You got the Sixers coming off a loss as a favorite, so maybe they get a chance to bounce back here. They lost to the Heat, 109 to 119. That was a nice second half by the Heat. The Wizards, it's their first game home after a what is that 5 game road trip, so could be a little bit of a flat spot. But I mean, I feel like they're always flat. It's also fourth and six. Yeah, it's hard to look towards the Wizards. I don't view the Sixers as I mean, I guess if I'm trying to make a case for the Wizards, it's that I don't view the Sixers as a team I'm willing to go like double digits with. Um, Especially, you're missing Embiid too. You definitely would want him in. So for that reason, it'll be more of a fade of Philly at the current number, with the lean on Washington. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think the motivational end of this goes to Philly. One game out of the playoffs. Right now, they're the number 7 seed sitting in the play in, but they're only behind Toronto by one, with a chance to catch them and make it easy on themselves and just be automatically in a series. Neither of the centers play tonight. No Sar for Washington, no Embiid for Philadelphia. Philly's got a little more in the backup department. They can always lean on Andre Drummond and Bona to play center. So I think it's advantage Philadelphia from that perspective. They're 3-0 against these guys this season. Philly 131, 110, Philly 139, 134, Philly 121, 102. They've been able to score at will against Washington. And we know Philly's been banged up for most of the time this year. Either George has been on suspension or Embiid's been hurt. So they've played these games with different lineups. I feel like if I had to isolate something, because Philadelphia has the motivational edge and because Washington flew all the way back from the West Coast, I feel like Philly will score here. Only 109 against Miami. Then that was just a bad shooting night. Really, you should score more than 109 against Miami. They're pushing pace the entire game. Um, so maybe a look toward the Sixers team total here, Ski. I believe when I looked, it was 126 and a half. And as I look now, it's still 126 and a half. Interesting here that the line went straight down, as you mentioned, to 13 and a half over the Embiid news, and now has come back Philly's way a little bit because Sar was announced maybe 45 minutes ago as not being a go here. Koulibaly will play. Washington can score too. Maybe I shouldn't exclude Washington from the mix here at 238 and a half, but I feel a little more confident in Philadelphia playing a what should be a quicker paced game, and the Wizards having not much in the way of rim protection for this one.
All right, we'll go over to Hawks and Magic. Opened up -4, it's down to 3 or 2.5, depending where you shop. And the total also came down from, I think, an opener of 236. And I think consensus will call 233.5. As far as the injury report for Orlando, Franz Wagner is questionable. Interesting to see if they can get him out there. Black and Isaac are out. For the Hawks, Landale is questionable once again. Yeah, this, I mean, this Hawks team has been playing really good basketball for a while now. This Magic team has not. This Magic team is coming off of a win. They played yesterday. This Hawks team has some rest advantage. I look at the standings. You have the Hawks in with that fifth seed. Let me pull it back up here. Fifth seed. Yeah, Hawks fifth seed and the Magic eighth seed. 2.5 games behind the Hawks. I mean, very, very important game here. I'd like to think that, well, I don't know. The number just seems like number seems like I should be taking the Magic. Like, it seems cheap to have the rest advantage, and if you've been playing so well, to only lay 2.5 or 3. I think the Magic maybe have found a little something, can compete. I know they're gonna play hard, at least, at the very least. What do you think, Vino?
Yeah, they played hard last night. That was not an easy game to win against Phoenix, 115, 111. All of those minutes were taxing minutes. Bankero put in 37. I think Bain put in 37. Point guard Suggs, 37, 38. All those guys were around the same amount of time yesterday. So they needed it. They got it yesterday. I kind of doubted whether or not they could get it because they haven't been playing good. They haven't played good against the Hawks all season long. Atlanta's 3-0 against these guys. And in 2 of those 3, Franz did play. They're back toward the beginning of the season, but I don't feel like Atlanta was in form back in the beginning of the season, especially since what they acquired
Ever
at the trade
Yeah,
deadline now.
yeah.
Now they're better, right? And so to me, man, I don't, this is hard. They both need it. Orlando needs it more. And you look at their spot in the standings, Ski, and they could again slide right down to the 8th spot by losing here. So they have to. I'm sure that 0-3 against this team means something to them. It's a divisional rival. You want to beat them for a multitude of reasons here tonight. So a situation. I think we're almost in the same spot we were last night, right? Phoenix was the rested team. Do you just go ahead and play the rest advantage, or do you play the we need it more advantage, which seems to be Orlando, even though Atlanta could use it? I don't know. It's a difficult game. I do agree with the total coming down a little bit, even though they're fast-paced teams. Honestly, I think this one will take on kind of a playoff type atmosphere with people playing defense against one another here tonight for at least some periods of time. So maybe a look at under, maybe. I don't know that I could trust. I don't know. I don't know that I could bet Orlando here, but I don't know that I could bet Atlanta either, even though they've owned this series this season.
I agree with what you said about the under. That was another look for me. It did come down to 232.5 and now going back up. So I'm not sure why that's happening. Don't like to see that, but under definitely on my radar just because of, the importance of the game. I think you're going to get really good effort on defense. Also, I didn't pull the trigger because I'm unsure how that back to back will affect the Magic. Whether defense suffer, it could, and yeah, it made me hesitate a little bit. But I agree with that thought.
What do we think if Franz plays? Does it throw a wrench into their offense? He hasn't played in 22 games.
I would think so. First game back after that long high usage player, I think it would throw their rhythm off a little bit. Not like they had much anyway, but
Mm,
I agree.
could get us to the under.
All right, Celtics and Heat opened up 5, now 4.5. Total open 228.5, and I see it as high as 230.5. For the injuries, I see Norman Powell out, Rozier still on the injury report for some reason. Vucevic is out for the Celtics team. Other than that, pretty healthy. Um, I disagree with the total going up here. I'm curious before I even get into it. How do you feel? Do you agree with the total going up?
Well, I'll say what we say all the time. No Norman Powell, no dice. Don't really want a piece, especially against a good defensive team like Boston. Now, Eric Spoelstra has had a lot to say the last couple
Hmm.
of days. It's kind of funny
Hmm.
that he's talking about how they should be, but they haven't predicated themselves on defense all season long. But yet he's saying their problems are because they don't play defense. That's kind of obvious to all of us. If in fact what he's saying, um, if I put it into context, Monday night they did hold Philly to 109. And if that's the start of something, maybe coach's words sinking in, then perhaps, under is in play here. We know Boston can play defense. We know Boston can lock down. These guys played on February 6th. It was 98 to 96, only 194 points. So that's a good testament to the under here. I could possibly look that way, Ski. I view Boston as maybe one of the top three defensive teams in the league. I think Boston is able to. Some teams aren't able to control pace, tempo against a team that's like Miami that wants to go fast. And then Boston, you always have the thought process they're going to shoot 45 threes. Are they going to make a bunch tonight or are they going to miss a bunch? So I think for me, a lot depends on whether or not Monday night's 109 allowed the Philly was a sign of things to come for Miami, and they're going to start to lock down a little bit. They don't have to
I think
lock down
so.
much because they can score. If
I
that's the case, then maybe we want under.
I think so. I listened to all these guys talk on the Heat side. They
Mm,
said Jaime Jaquez was talking about like it was one of the best half times ever. Pretty much saying, Tyler Hero and Bam, were leading and everybody just following them and it was one of their best performances. That's what he said. And then they asked Tyler Hero, they're talking to Tyler Hero. He was just talking about, they were just stressing, playing harder. Everybody knows the situation they're in right now towards the end of the season. Bam, same thing. He say, we know it's at stake. So uh, combination of that and you look at that second, I mean, you look at the game, yes, their last game, 60% of the time they were playing zone. You want teams playing zone if you wanted it over?
no, but let me ask you this: is it smart to zone Boston the way they shoot threes?
Well,
They could
that
shoot
can
you
be a
right out of
debate.
the zone.
That can be a debate. Um, Regardless, I think that, Boston plays at the slowest pace in the league this season.
Right.
I think Miami will be willing to slow their pace, especially after Bam and Hero played what 40 something minutes last game. Um, I think we get less pace, more defense from both sides. I mean, the Celtics are off a loss too. Celtics off a loss this year. Opponent's team totals are what 18-6 to the under. That tells you what they're going to come out there and do. They're strapping up after a loss. You're not getting any easy buckets. So I like under in this game. How about this? Heat last five totals were 240 plus. We were looking at what 229, 228 and a half today. It's up to 230 now, but looks so easy to go take that over.
Mm.
What you think,
Well, I think I laugh every time you say Boston plays at the slowest tempo because I go all the way back to November when you told
Lying.
me Jalen Brown lied to you. He's lying. This is no track meet. He's lying to you.
I
And
remember that.
you know the the numbers tell the story. He was lying to me. I fell for it in the beginning of the year, but now we know. And with Jason Tatum back, they're just that much better defensively. So yeah, again, it's funny too. The one thought that ran through my head while you were talking is we kind of wait, guys like you and I that bet these games, we kind of wait all season long for teams to play with this type of focus. Like play the game.
Right.
Don't screwball around, bench guys, don't care. Everybody seems to care now when it matters. So maybe it makes the handicaps a little more I don't want to say easier because we want to win bets here and I don't want to jinx myself, but maybe what we're handicapping is more true to the core than it has been all season long.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Um, Yeah, I like under in this one. I disagree with the move up. I got a worse number. I got 228.5, but I don't think they make it to 220. Bucks and Rockets. Oh man, Rob. This is a stinker. I feel like I should just not waste anybody's time. I'm done. I have nothing smart to say about this game. Is there anything you would like to talk about with the Bucks and the Rockets?
Real quick, I was only joking yesterday when I said it might be Glenn Rivers' Appreciation Day. He made the Hall of Fame, and Milwaukee came out and smoked Dallas for their head coach. That probably doesn't happen again tonight. I really think it because they're Houston, I'm able to get this price, but their team total is 117. And I've made a pretty good amount of, or cashed a pretty good amount of bets, as I've said often here, playing Milwaukee games over in some capacity, whether I just fade their defense, which I'll do tonight, or whether or not I play the full game over. Their lineup now, with Gary Trent back in there, they've got some scoring ability, but I don't want to include them against the Houston defense. The one thing you worry about is Houston's off the back to back. They played the Knicks last night. That was a big game. But they didn't, they didn't play really hard minutes. Nobody played a lot. Nobody had to really go out of their way last 6 minutes to preserve that win. So to me, the way Milwaukee's been giving up points, I just see Houston getting to 118 here tonight. So that's the way I did play this one, by the way, for those watching. I did play Houston up and over their team total. Just I'd like to focus in and just continue what I've been doing, fade Milwaukee's defense.
And I get it. I mean, they played a better defensive game yesterday, but before that, I mean, giving it up like clockwork. So definitely can understand. You do have both of these teams on a back to back. So maybe less defense from both. All right. Kings and Raptors opened up minus 12, still 12. Total open 226 and is down to as low as 224.5. Scotty Barnes is questionable. Ingram is out. Quickly's out. Battle's out. For Sacramento, no Westbrook and no Murray. I mean, damn, these are some bad games. You have the Kings playing, what is this, their fourth straight road game? Yes, no, fifth straight road game. The end of a road trip. They have lost every single game. It is second of a back to back for the Raptors, third and fourth nights as well. They come off of that L versus the Pistons last night and have to travel back to Canada. I mean, Detroit from Canada is not far. They're right next to each other. So the Raptors, I mean, absolutely a team that needs the game more than the Kings. I'm just going to double check where they are in the standings. I know 12-point spread is not, what they need, but they're in that sixth spot, half a game behind Atlanta, and one game from being in the play-in. Probably for that reason, I would look towards the Raptors, whether it's first half or I feel like and I'm gonna check it before I pass it to you or while I pass it to you. But I feel like the Raptors have been better in the first half than the second half. Maybe Raptors first half. Any thoughts from you here, Vino?
Yeah, I was going to play Toronto team total for a lot of the reasons you described. Feel like Sacramento is just playing out the string on the road. They're no good on defense anyway. And, for Toronto, you face Detroit last night, who brought all their bigs back into the lineup. This is a severe step down in class defensively, what they're going to face tonight. But then, they go ahead and scratch Ingram, and maybe they're going to scratch Barnes. And I start thinking, hey, I don't know that I want the over anymore without these guys. They could get there. Quickly's already out. But I don't know. I don't think I want to take the chance. Toronto does need the win. Doesn't mean they have to win by 13. Also doesn't mean that the Kings can't lose by 19 because they're more than capable of that too. So too many questions for me, Skee. I let it go.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Raptors as a home favorite. Well, let's actually expand this. See how they've been doing lately. More than just 5 games. 3-0 as a home favorite. 1-0 on a back to back. Let me just look at the season. Raptors actually, yeah, see, here we go. This is what I was thinking. The Raptors as a home favorite are 12 and 14 ATS, but 17 and 9 ATS in the first half. They have played some bad second halves. And I think this is a game where they should be focused. You should get a really good effort at least for 24 minutes. Raptors first half is appealing. Anything else?
Get in
Anything?
and get out.
Yeah. Any reason to talk me off of a first half?
What's the number? 6.5.
Yeah, I'm pulling that up now. I'm assuming it's 6.5 with the 12-point spread, and it's 7.
They bumped it even higher on you. But still, to your point, I mean, even without Ingram, if in fact Barnes does play, and in Sacramento, I mentioned this yesterday really quick. These teams that are clustered at the bottom of the win totals, Sacramento 19, Wizards and Pacers with 17 each, Brooklyn with 18. They're all fighting each other to lose the most games right now. Sacramento's totally not trying. Um, some of these teams do love to go out and get themselves buried in the first half and then play a better second half and make it look like they're trying. You know what I mean? They just kind of disguise the way they lose games.
Right.
The first half, if Toronto's really good at first half numbers wise, it's probably worth a look.
And also, I just checked the Kings have covered one of their last 5 first halves, so definitely gonna put that on my short list. I like that one.
There you go.
Pacer
Let's just get buried early and then we'll make pretend we care. Great
Yeah,
strategy.
I like that one. Pacers and Bulls, uh, opener was 4.5. Looks like 4. Total went up from 243 as high as 247.5. Let's see who is, and wow. You have Jacoby Walker, Aaron Neesmith, Andrew Nimhart, TJ McConnell, all out. Obi Toppin, Pascal Siakam, both probable. For the Bulls, you have Josh Giddey questionable, Nick Richards questionable, Yabusele questionable, and Simon's out. A lot can be missing in this one. I've been one to expect the Pacers to score in recent games, but a lot of those guys I trust look like they're not going to play. McConnell's the pace. The point guard play from Nimhart, scoring from him, shooting from Neesmith. I don't like missing all those guys, as well as the possibility of Giddey missing. So, uh, with all those question marks or guys out, I could not agree with the total going up. And I don't view the Bulls as a team I want to lay with. I mean, the thing with the Pacers is when they had the guys in the lineup, they play hard. They play good. When the guys are not in the lineup, it's like they don't care no more. So this is a tough game for me, Vino. What do you think?
I think they won too many games recently, and then coach has to start pulling
Yes.
people. They
Yes.
got the 17 wins now. Oh no, we're tied with Washington at 17 now. Everybody sits tonight. And it's a shame because it's almost one of those where if guys were playing, I would be in that kind of why even fight it attitude because the totals in Bulls games have been outrageously high. And this one was bet up to this point, Skee. This didn't start 247.5. This thing started around the 243 range. And people just piled on because in Bulls games, why not? Like I look at these totals and I'm like, man, that's too high for me, too rich. And then the Bulls, go out and total 260. And I'm like, well, why even fight it? Just play Bulls games over. But to your point, when you start seeing all these absences from the lineups, I get that defense is a liability on both sides. And, the guys that are on the floor are still NBA players and want to put up some numbers. But you want to get to 250 with a bunch of reserves. It's not easy. It's just not that easy. I know they're playing, both of these teams actually are playing kind of like an all-star game mentality, especially the Bulls. Now, the Pacers, I think, are 9-1 team total over last 10, 9-1 over last 10. They've covered like 7 or 8 straight. Been too good. Tonight's a good night to take off if you're Indiana, so I'll stay off that game.
All right, Knicks and Grizzlies. Um, this one came down, keeps going down from 16.5. Now it's 13.5. Total's going up though. 222 as high, was the opener, and now it's as high as 226.5 out there. Looking at the injury report, Shaman is questionable. Mitchell Robinson is doubtful. Tops Gibson is questionable. Hendricks is doubtful. Ty Jerome is out. And Vino, if you know me, you know what that means. Ty Jerome out, I'm out. It's no way I'm betting the Grizzlies. And I probably won't bet the Knicks either. I mean, it's not a good spot for them. It's their 4th straight road game, and it's a back-to-back, laying all these points. I mean, Knicks have lost 3 straight. They should be hungry and wanna come out there and win, but that also means they're not playing good basketball. So, this is probably one I will not bet. What do you think about this game?
I think I would love to play the Knicks offense in a bounce back situation. 94 last night against Houston, just not a good offensive effort, but that's a really good defense when they want to be. And Memphis, you combine that with the fact that Memphis has been an absolutely brutal defense last 10, last 5, last 10, last 20, whatever you want to look up. Give up 131 the other night. Game totals 249 against the Bulls, give up 119 to the Rockets, 123 to the Spurs, 146 to the Hawks. I could go on and on about this defense. They just haven't been good. So the Knicks should score. My inclination is to just take that side of it because the Knicks also, they're in the 3 spot, not really in danger of coming out of the top 4 where you get a home floor advantage, but they could slide behind Cleveland. They're only a game ahead of Cleveland right now for the 3 spot. So some importance to them. I would like to be able to trust the Knicks offense against a very, very bad defense here tonight. Thinking that the Knicks, let me look really quick here, Skee, what this team I saw 119 and a half earlier, but I want to make sure that that's even correct. Yeah, we're looking at 120 and a half right now for the Knicks, which still against Memphis, 121 should be doable for New York. Memphis allows it. So maybe that's like a maybe play, one that's on the short list, as you like to say, Knicks team total over.
Fair enough. Nuggets and Jazz, 249 is as high as 249 and a half is what we're looking at there with a 17-point spread. That already just makes me uncomfortable, but I mean, the Nuggets do score. Injuries, Aaron Gordon probable, Najee out, Jones out, Collier, Keyshawn George, Harkless, and Markkinen all out. I mean, Utah's still going to play fast, and they don't have a whole lot of defense. Nuggets don't play defense. This number is high though, but I don't really want to be betting these two teams under. It's just how I feel. What do you think?
Yeah, I would not play it under. They just played 4 days ago and they scored 264. The Nuggets really didn't care. Utah had the lead almost the whole way and then realized we can't win a game. And Denver realized we need to win a game. And Denver wins 135, 129 with a crazy last 7 minutes of the game, but still 264. It just goes to show you what Denver thinks of playing Utah. Like in my mind, Utah is one of those teams that they like have no shame whatsoever. Like they'll do anything possible to lose. It just doesn't matter to them. And they've been giving it up like crazy. It doesn't really matter what group they put on the floor, though, Skee. They managed to score. And like you say, Denver allows it. Again, I just said this about Indiana, Chicago. I look at these numbers and I think, oh, that's too high for me. 249. As much as I like overs, it seems too high. And then the other side of my head says, well, why even fight it? All you see is overs out of these two teams. But I'm probably going to let this one go. Denver, we said it 3.5 weeks ago. They needed to stack wins. They hit the gas pedal. They have stacked wins. They're now into that 4 spot. And one more probably keeps them in that top 4 spot. They'll have a home floor advantage in some capacity, at least first round. So I think they want it. Whether they want to win it by 18, not sure. No Aaron Gordon also means when he doesn't play, they stink defensively. Wow, they're
He's
not even
probable.
halfway good one. Oh, he's probable. Okay. If he were to be out, I would really maybe look a little harder, but I'll take a pass on that.
Spurs and Warriors. Uh, yeah, I could only bet the Spurs. I mean, they just continue to continue to roll. This Warriors team feels like they've been embracing the tank for a while. This injury list is long. Spurs are past. What you got, Vino?
Yeah, I will say that. And you know me, I read these quotes all the time. I'm thoroughly sick of Steve Kerr talking about, oh, the injuries, oh, the injuries, oh, stop it with the injuries, dude, because even if you're not injured, you schedule losses for this team when you weren't injured. So, um, but I will apply everything I said about Detroit yesterday, and I've said all season long that they just play. They come to play every single night. It doesn't matter. That's the Spurs. One's in the East, one's in the West. And I still think the Spurs, I was listening to a couple of quotes, and there seems to be a little back and forth now between Wemby and SGA over this MVP thing. But from a team perspective, San Antonio seems to want to just keep trying to chase down OKC for that number one seed. Now, mathematically, it's still possible. 75 games played, they're 2.5 out, so you got 7 left. Could be done, but they're not, they're pretty secure in that 2 spot, and they're not holding back at all. They're actually trying to get that 1 spot. So you have to figure San Antonio, they score every night big. Their team total here really quick against this broken down Golden State defense, 120.5 is definitely doable for San Antonio. Seems like they wake up out of bed and score 120. So I could see some form of San Antonio there. Golden State just too small, don't care enough. And San Antonio is the exact opposite.
I agree. That is the NBA show for today. Man, there was some stinkers on this card. There's 6 double-digit spreads, and we have what, 9 games? 6 out of 9 double digits. That's
Terrible.
crazy. But we'll move it on over to, or before we move it to best bets, let's do the promo. And we still have the buy 3 get 3 free. That's 6 days for just $69. That is a good one to get involved with. If you want to do a little longer, the all in for the year, ultimate all access, comes out to just under $4 a day. And if you were to go, purchase Rob Veno for a year, you will receive a 25% bonus coupon that you can use on anything or anybody else. So if you want to check me out too, that's a good way to do it as well. And this is the one that I think is, why do I still have this? That's my bad. My bad for having this up there. Um, this is the one that I think is, the best for this show right now. NBA playoffs plus the rest of the regular season comes out to just under $200, 199, and we still have what, 3 May, June. April, May, June. We have about 2.5 months of basketball left, and this is the good basketball. This is where we usually do some good work, Ravino and myself. So, Vino, I know you mentioned that you talked to the office, and if anybody was interested, they could reach out for a combination of trying to put you and I together for NBA playoffs. So, other than that, or if you want to expand on that or whatever, is there anything else you would like to promote? And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, it's okay.
Yeah, I'll say real quick that, those who watch the show know that, Skee and I have been here covering the NBA since day one. So we're waiting for these playoffs where we can actually, as I said earlier, handicap stuff that's true basketball. And you can see by the records, Skee's been on a really, really nice roll, extended period of time. I had a terrific March. It actually extends back to February. So we're both in pretty good form as of now. And the office did respond. So anybody who's interested in maybe paying less for both of our plays, I think they were only going to crank it up by like $50. It went from 199 to maybe 249. But again, that package is available for anybody who would like to just get both of us. We do, I don't know, sometimes we handicap similar, sometimes we handicap a little differently, but you'll get a good variety if you do combo up. Let's go to best bet here, Skee. I got a choice here of what I really want to do. And I'm pretty sure I'm on the same wavelength as you in one of them. So I'll let that one go. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to the top of the board. And I'll play the team total that I like here, which is the 76ers. We explained earlier, Washington off of the extended West Coast road trip. Washington, bad defense, no center. And Philly without Embiid does play quicker. They're off a bad offensive performance. And maybe it was a good Miami defensive performance. I'm not sure. But I do think Philadelphia, who has owned Washington all season long and scored in this range or above every time they've played them. So give me Philly team total over 126.5, best bet for the show.
Good stuff. For myself, I will go with that Boston and Miami game. You can get a better number than I did. I got 228.5. You can get 230.5. I like it under. I gave you plenty of reasons why earlier. But yeah, it's a reason why Miami's totals have been 240 plus the past 5 games, and now we're looking at 229 half, 230 after it's gone up. So I'm rocking with the under. I expect strong defense from the Celtics, strong defense from the Heat. That will be my best bet for the show. Vino, I do always appreciate you taking the time to break the games down with me. Like I said on Wager Talk today, you help my process out a lot. I'm sure you help everybody else out there as well. And always want to let you know we appreciate you, chat. It shows nothing without you guys. You help make it what it is. You guys bring the energy, you guys bring insight, and just good vibes in general. So always appreciate the chat too. Best of luck to all of you guys on all of your action. We'll be back again tomorrow, and we will catch you then.